Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown and Dunkirk, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County. From supporting people with disabilities to enjoy great lives to providing health care services that are available to anyone, the Resource Center has been improving our county for more than 60 years. Learn more about how the Resource Center makes a positive difference in people's lives. From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Hey everybody, I'm back. Wow, we had a wonderful time down in Puerto Rico. Last week, we had the opportunity to be part of my son and my daughter-in-law's 20th anniversary renewal of their marriage vows, and we had family to get together and friends of the family, and my son was in Special Forces, part of the Army, and he had some of his very, very close and dear friends there as well, and their family members. So imagine there was 30 of us all living together in, I called it the compound, but it was a big Airbnb, and just a wonderful time. And if you haven't been to Puerto Rico, what a warm and inviting group of people there. Had never been there before other than just to go into San Juan to jump on a cruise ship, but this time we had the opportunity to meet lots of folks there, and just a very lovely group of people. And it's very pretty there. We spent some time on the beaches and in San Juan. I got my picture taken with Christopher Columbus. He's got a big old statue there. He landed there, 1493, and so on. We had a great time with some of the foods there and things like that. So if you haven't been there, I would encourage you to have a visit. It was warm. It was definitely tropical. It was in the high 80s, but the humidity was probably more than that. I think the heat index was like 106 some days. So it was toasty, but we had a pool, and that was all that mattered, and we had lots of fun. So anyways, thanks to Randy, Bert, for covering me once again, and I plan on being here pretty straight through now until the next trip, whenever that is. All right. Say good morning, everybody. Around the world, we're streaming, and Natalia and friends over in the Ukraine, be safe. Good morning, good afternoon. Glad you could join us. To my listeners on WRFA 107.9, low power to the people in Jamestown. Thanks for listening in Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. I want to say just hello to everybody that's watching right now live. And remember, you can always catch this show on 2 and 8 every day throughout the week. Okay? If you are so inclined and you have a comment or a question, you can give us a call. It's 716-753-5225. Right there's the number. I can never do this. It's always backwards to me. And if during the week you want to send in an announcement, we have the announcements as always. Just go and write in chautauquasunrise@gmail.com. That's our address here. And again, Chautauqua Sunrise, all one word, @gmail.com. And let us know what's going on in your world, and we'll be happy to do that free of charge. Okay, let's see what else we got going on. As you can see, we have our, let me see if I can get this right. I guess it's on this shoulder. It's over on this side. Everything's backwards to me. A reminder to me to remind you that this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month of October. And we've been talking about this, 10 years now, every year. And, we bring it up because I've known folks in my life that have had breast cancer. And fortunately, they caught it in time so that it did not become fatal. My mother was a breast cancer survivor, and she lived many, many years after her treatment. I know a gentleman that had breast cancer, and people say, men get breast cancer? Yes, they do. So if you have any concerns, please check it out with your doctor or your healthcare provider. I happen to know, because I was president of a Rotary Club at the time, that at Westfield Memorial Hospital they have prosthetic breasts that you can actually touch and feel, and you can get a feel for what a tumor might feel or a lump in your breast, and they're very lifelike, and they have those there, so you can ask to have those brought to you. So then you can do self-examinations forever. And anytime you feel something that's not right, please check it out. It spreads, and you just don't want that to happen, and there's no reason why you can't live a strong and healthy life afterwards. So this is our reminder to talk to you for the rest of the month about breast cancer awareness. Get those mammograms and get checked out, okay? Let's see. I want to remind you that Oak Island Plus, the video podcast that Jim McQuiston and I have put together, we ran, I guess it was last week, perhaps, episode 5. I hope you enjoyed that. And this week, Jim and I are going into the studio, excuse me, at Lakeshore Center for the Arts over in Westfield, just down the road. And we're going to be producing episode 6, which will be out for you to see probably mid-October, somewhere in there, later in October. We're having a lot of fun talking about the Oak Island, the curse of Oak Island, and all that sort of thing, and about Jim's research and my research together that we've come up with to explain the rest of the story on that. All right, I got some note here to myself that I'm supposed to go to my phone, pull this up, and talk to you about the Ripley Public Library. Okay, now, this is just one example, so please, this isn't just our library, but all the libraries in the county do lots of cool things. They're going to have a Halloween party on October 28th from 6 to 9. $15 per person. There's going to be a contest for costumes. There's going to be something to eat, wine, beer, and setups, and so forth. Then October is senior month at the library. And each and every Friday at 11 a.m., there will be an event taking place at the library. So, for instance, bingo, travel time with Joel Swarthout, who's going to be talking about destinations for your next trip, free legal advice. Office of the Aging on Nutrition is going to be there throughout the month. And let's see what else they got going on. Authors Night. They're going to, on October 10th, coming up this week at 6 o'clock, by Mike Strayer, The White Monsters of Sherman, New York. I don't know what they are. We've got the Noble Book Club. That's already happened. Never mind. They have exercise classes. All kinds of fun things are going on. Nutrition with Molly coming up October 24th. And there's just writers group, knitting group, sewing group. Just all kinds. They got computers and things like that. So I bring it up that if you are sitting at home saying, check out your public libraries. They're like a community center. They got all kinds of cool things going on. Okay, so please think about that. All right, I have some announcements to share with you, and they are as follows. Socks, and more socks. Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation announces its annual Socktober sock drive will take place during the month of October. Socktober is a month-long initiative aimed at collecting warm socks for individuals and families in need. This year, the need is more significant than ever, as rising costs and increased homelessness have left many without this basic necessity. And we've talked about homelessness here. As the days grow shorter and the temperatures drop, many members of our community face the harsh reality of winter without the warmth and comfort of proper footwear. You would think that wasn't a big deal, but it's a basic need of life. Socks. Socks are often overlooked, but critical component of staying warm and healthy during the colder months, and Socktober seeks to make a meaningful difference. Throughout this month, the foundation, in collaboration with the Agricultural Logistics, Cattaraugus County, Bank, James Prendergast Library, and Lakeshore Savings Bank in Dunker, Fredonia, and Westfield will be accepting sock donations. New socks of all sizes and types, from cozy winter socks to athletic and everyday wear, are encouraged to help meet the diverse needs of those we aim to assist. Take a look in those drawers about those socks that someone gave you last Christmas that weren't exactly your cup of tea. You might want to pass them on. The Socktober partners believe that everyone deserves the dignity of warm, dry feet, and Socktober is an opportunity for our community to come together and make a tangible impact by participating in this sock drive. You can help bring warmth and comfort to those who need it most during the challenging months. So please think about that, and if you have any questions, you can give Leslie Willie a call. Hang on, 716-366-4892. Okay, and that's Socktober with the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation. Okay, a friend of mine's on the phone right now, and she's going to talk to us about a very special event that's coming up. Stephanie Stevens is on the line. Good morning, Steph.
Hey, Doc, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good morning. Happy Saturday.
Yeah, you made it. You got it, the right phone number and everything.
How about that? Sometimes I can do things right.
So, what's up?
Hey, so I thought maybe you'd want to talk about the Women of Distinction Gala that we're having.
I sure do.
That, we have a very special MC there, so I thought you might want to mention that.
Well, that would be yours truly, and it's an honor and a distinction to be the MC of Women of Distinction Gala. So what exactly is a gala for Women of Distinction? What is it?
Well, we're going to be honoring women of our community who have proven to really work towards the YWCA mission of empowering women and strengthening our communities, and really just being a powerful force.
And these women are from the Westfield area, or is it throughout the county? What's your catchment area?
They're throughout the county. They're throughout the entire county.
Okay. And can we talk about who they are, or is that a secret?
We can. We just revealed that. If you look in today's paper, you'll see some of our sponsors in there.
Mm-hmm.
Our sponsors include our major sponsors, the Post-Journal, Observer, Westfield Republican,
mm-hmm.
and they've really been great in getting the word out and letting everybody know what we're doing here. We have the YWCA Westfield Board of Trustees.
Mm-hmm.
We have Catherine Bronstein,
Yep.
Howard Hannah Holt,
Mm-hmm.
Manning and Napier, New Solutions, Medical Aesthetics, Campanos Cucina, and Mazza Winery, and the VFW
Right.
is in Westfield as well.
So those are your
Now, those
sponsors.
are-
So let's name the women of distinction at this point.
Okay, so we've got Marilyn Hemmer,
Friend of mine.
Stacey Holland,
Mm-hmm.
Emma Buzaladic, she's our youth sponsor, or youth honoree,
Okay.
Helen Barron,
Another friend of mine.
Kathy Mazza,
I know her.
Wendy Civiletto,
Yeah.
and Marsha Holland.
Okay. What a lineup. Boy, great women.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to attend, how do they do it and what's it cost?
Okay, so all you have to do is go to our website, www.ywcawestfield.org.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy your tickets right there, or you can also seek out one of our board members who have 20 tickets each they need to get rid of. They're $75.
Okay.
Or, Doc, I can give you some. You can hand them out, too.
Of course. Where is it? When is it? Let's go over the when and where.
It's at Chautauqua Institution. We'll have valet parking available. It's at the Athenaeum Hotel. And they are also a sponsor as well.
Great.
So they've pitched in. We're going to have Mazza wine on the tables and available to buy in cases or bottles. And those proceeds are going to go to the YWCA Westfield as well. It's at 6 o'clock. It'll go to, we'll have happy hour from 6 to 7, and then we'll have dinner and the awards starting at 7. We're also going to have a photo booth there, so that'll be fun. So you can get in the photo booth and have fun with your friends and take pictures home to show everybody.
Just what I need, more pictures of me.
I think they'll be great. You said you were going to wear that tux. You were going to get out that tuxedo, right?
I said that? Oh.
You did.
Oh.
You did.
For those who are listening, what is the dress code? Because a lot of times people wonder. We talked about this the other day. So what'd you come up with? I call it casual formal.
It is. You know what? You're gonna dress in whatever makes you happy for that day, whatever makes you feel good. You're gonna come. You're gonna have a great dinner. You're gonna have a couple of drinks with friends, and you're gonna honor some women who have really made a big difference in our community.
Okay. So, and what is for dinner?
It's a surprise.
Okay. You can tell me. Okay, well,
I'm not telling you yet.
we'll mention this again next week, Steph. Well, thanks for calling in, and congratulations. This is a wonderful event, and good for all those women that you're honoring. I know many of them, and I couldn't think of a nicer and more greater group of folks to honor. So great, well done.
Right, and you know, one more thing, you know, that I would like to say about the YWCA is, you know, we're a national organization. So when you drive by little YWCA Westfield on Portage Street in Westfield, it's so much bigger than just that. We serve, in just New York State, we serve 19 Ys.
Wow.
And I mean, an amazing amount of women throughout just New York State alone. Throughout the U.S., we have over 200 YWCAs. And as you know, we also have YWCA World. Mm-hmm. And so by coming and donating, maybe buy a ticket, donate it to a friend, you're doing more than just helping our before and after school program, helping our programming we have in Westfield. You're helping a lot of people. You know, I think you remember talking to Natasha from Ukraine, and we raised a lot of money to send over to them as well.
Okay. And she's listening in, Natalia and her friends over there. So, yeah, super.
Of course she is. She's your biggest fan.
She watches every week. So I always send greetings out to them and good wishes. Okay, well, we're going to move along. So thanks for calling in, and we will talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Beck.
Okay.
Have a great day.
All right. You take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So once again, Women of Distinction Gala, Thursday, October 19th at the Athenaeum in Chautauqua Institution. And yours truly will be the MC. I guess that's the best word. Excuse me. Okay, moving along. Size 16. Prevention Works Pumpkin Party held on October 14th, coming up from 4 to 8. Sensories Sensitive Hour from 3 to 4. Chautauqua County Fairgrounds Ag and Expo Building over on Central Avenue. Activities include local agency trick-or-treat, costume contest, music, face painting, coloring and crafts, games, food, and a whole lot more. Okay, if you have any questions and you want to participate, 664-3608. I'm out of shape here, Justin. Audubon Community Nature Center is having their Enchanted Forest. And let's see, hang on a minute. Let me make sure I got this right. That is being held today from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Choose your own time slot for this magical, non-scary evening when talking animals like the praying mantis engage the imagination of children and adults. $14 for adults, $10.50 for nature center members and children 3 to 15 free and $10.50 for nature center members and children 3 to 15, and if you're under 2 years old, you're free. Paid reservations required at audubоncnc.org. Okay, no tickets are sold at the door. All right, moving along. CHQ Mud Day 5K. It's gonna be held like in any time now, about an hour from now. Over here in Mayville, there's a Mud Day. What is this? Join Chautauqua Institution for the Chautauqua Mud Day 5K. It's not your average mud run. I didn't know there was anything more than an average mud run. Get ready for a 5K packed with muddy madness. You and your friends and family Can expect to run, walk, crawl, slip, slide, and scream with excitement as the Chautauqua Mud Day gets you delightfully dirty. Many of our obstacles are handcrafted, making this a one-of-a-kind run. From the moment you leap past the starting line, you will triumphantly cross the finish. Prepare to have an amazing time and create new friendships along the way. Okay, well, that's happening today at 10 o'clock. Then we have great grape walks today at 10 a.m. and tomorrow at 10 a.m. over at Johnson Estate Winery over in Westfield. These are self-guided walks with your family and friends. Sample and fill your baskets with premium estate-grown grapes. After your walk, enjoying tasting in the winery or a glass of wine at Flight. Yes, your children and your dog are welcome. Grape juice and water are also provided for them at $35 per person, no charge for children. And then finally, this is just a reminder that school is back in, and we got slide 19 from Prevention Works. And real quick, basically, keep your ears open for bullying at school. Bullying is being mean to another person over and over and over again. It is often relentless and can include teasing, spreading rumors, threatening, or talking about others, hurting their feelings, purposeful alienation, attacking both physically and verbal, and cyberbullying. Keep your lines of communication open. Look at your kids. If there's something going on, talk to them. Help them. They need to hear from you. So if you need help from anyone, give Prevention Works a call and they can give you some guidance. We're going to take a little break. We'll be right back with my friend Shiloh Cahuatijo from the IDA, and we're going to cover a bunch of topics, so stay tuned.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Bullying takes lives. End of subject. It does. Young teenagers or even adults, they've been bullied to the point where they can't stand anymore, and the only way they get out is to take their lives. How sad. Growing up, you would think a big guy like me would be safe from bullying. No. My brother and I were constantly being bothered because we looked like twins or whatever, and this little punk was always giving everybody a hard time in the neighborhood. Well, I'm ashamed to say it, but we took care of them. There was no more bullying when we were done. So anyways, today we're going to do part 2 to the IDEA discussion that we started some time ago. I mentioned Shiloh Cahuatijo is going to be my guest, and she's the only one that stayed healthy during this whole time. 3 other folks were supposed to join us today, and we wish them health and wellness to get back in feeling better. But Shiloh, thanks for coming in. Without you, I didn't have a show.
Oh my gosh, too much pressure. Eat your greens, everybody.
Eat your greens.
It's flu season. Get your shot if you can.
Yeah, that too. I got my shot. So Shiloh, I like to always go into a little bit about who you are, what you do for a living and stuff like that. So go for it.
Okay, no pressure, right?
No pressure.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I don't blame you for watching. Look at this radiant energy in this room.
Bam!
Right? Hopefully I can contribute, but again, thank you. My name is Shiloh Cahuatijo. What I do for a living, what I don't do. A lot of my career and professionalism involves assisting the community, and not specifically a target community, just I love to be an asset in contributing solutions to problems that either have been in our nation for decades before, or just current situations that I feel like I contribute to now. I'm a graphic designer, communication graphic designer, but I also am a community engagement liaison for the IDA Coalition. I represent the Latinos within North County of the Chautauqua County. And I'm also a care coordinator at the Chautauqua Center.
You're busy.
I provide professional representation for patients that work closely with their doctors to kind of get themselves at a proper stance with their medical needs, and if that happens to connect with their basic necessity needs like food, shelter, and just economic stability, that's where we chime in and coordinate those kind of services. So,
Shiloh, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in the concrete jungle, New York City, specifically the Bronx. It's definitely not for everybody. No, not at all. But it definitely builds you a way where you kind of are part of that concrete brick jungle. So I grew up there. I am my first generation American daughter of Mexican immigrants, and first college graduate, first high school graduate, and I moved into the county in 2018 for school, but I have not left since because I love it here. It is an excellent place to just be able to enjoy your life, enjoy yourself, enjoy community. You are so close and far from, if you need that kind of exposure to the city life. We have Buffalo, and we're not too far from Canada. So it's an excellent place to be.
You're close to Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Jamestown, Buffalo, Toronto,
Ohio. It's 3 hours away. Sometimes I drive there just for tacos if I feel the need, if I'm missing home. But it's definitely a lovely place to stay, and that is why I feel so proud to be involved in the community kind of assistance or just advocacy. Just because I came in not part of the community, but I want to join and I want to contribute and earn my place within the community.
We talked a little about Cahuatijo, and that's not Mexican.
No, it's not. Cahuatijo is from Ecuador. I recently married my husband. Hi, David, I love you. Sorry. But Cahuatijo is from Ecuador.
Very nice. So, IDA,
yes.
What does it stand for?
Inclusion, diversity, equity, and access.
Okay. And this coalition was the brainchild of Bishop Leecroft Clark?
Yes. He couldn't join us today, but he would do an excellent job in elaborating on what it is. But I think I'm going to give you the description from someone who is within the community and doesn't have to be a professional to kind of understand the dynamics of it. But basically, he formulated this IDA coalition group based off of the unfortunate events of, I believe there was a, I'm having a brain cloud.
That's okay.
But there was an event where a young African-American teen was unfortunately just racially approached in just an inappropriate manner that resulted in his life. So this initiative in honor of Juneteenth was formalized to kind of bring some kind of sense of control, but also be part of what could be, or that community we would want to see within Chautauqua County. And this coalition is formalized with so many organizations within our community that already serve for the purposes that we are honoring, but they sign on to be part of this, and we agree and describe to them that we will commit the time, the energy to communicate with our community and get to the nitty-gritty of what is needed, what is missing, what could work, what doesn't, and them as an organization within their means would take our information that we present, that we get directly from our community, and start formalizing solutions to hopefully resolve the barriers that kind of fall into place with our minority groups that don't have a decency or the basics within this county. And it doesn't, we specialize in minorities, but a lot of these needs are just county members in general. We have transportation, we have childcare, we have just, being able to go to a provider and have our needs understood and, not have to depend on, if we know the language or not. So these are things that are obviously just types of concerns that any kind of community member would see, but unfortunately the minority groups are who live it on a day-to-day basis. So this is part of what the coalition is for, to get rid of the assumptions, collect the data from our numbers, not from the numbers that have already put out there for our overall country, our nation. Each state is very case sensitive. There's so many additional details that could make our situation a little bit different than a situation in Ohio. So we want to be able to eliminate just that road of assumption and just get to our people and make sure that these concerns are advocated.
I got two comments.
Yes.
Much like you, I've sat in think tanks over the years, and this may seem odd, But probably 30 years ago, I sat with a number of folks, very similar, but a little different scope of what we were talking about at the time. But one of the top issues for Chautauqua County was transportation. And the problem being is that we are very rural in some areas. So Dunkirk, Jamestown, you got taxis, you got buses, you got whatever. But you get out towards my world in Ripley, you get into Clymer, you go over into Ellington, you get up into Villanova. There's nothing out there, in the Four Corners. And so that's always been an issue. And obviously continues to be. The other one is childcare. People don't realize how difficult it is for a mom and dad nowadays to find somebody to watch their kids.
Yes.
I'm on the speed dial with my grandkids and my children. It's like call. It's 1-800 grandpa.
Yeah. Speed dial. Got you on speed dial.
And sometimes I'm not available, and it's like all of a sudden there's some scrambling that has to take place. And people don't realize those two things, transportation and childcare, are barriers to employment.
Yes, exactly. That is definitely true, and that's one of the things that we take the time to elaborate to our coalition members. We've had meetings with our coalition members all in one room, discussing what the data we've collected and presenting to them. Now, we had just a plethora of 12 different categories that were distinguished from all of the data collection, but we just, had to narrow it down. We felt the need to narrow it down to 3 concentrations, and the 3 concentrations are the education system, business and employment opportunities, and community and social activities. I personally worked very closely with the community and social activities segment, because I honestly feel like the community and social activities, and this is something I like to highlight, we did town hall meetings on both North and South County, just to eliminate the assumption kind of title, but also they're 2 different locations that have 2 different communities, and we wanted to just make sure everyone had the opportunity to be heard. Community and social activities were present in all. That was one of the highlighted worries or concerns of the community, that there is no sense of community, or just no designated location for social activities for our neighbors to just come together. And so we've been doing the work, and we've been trying to make note of all of these concerns to our members. And things are moving along, and right now we're on the subject matter of making sure that we come up with these solutions at the best way possible. And we have job openings for 12 community members, and I would say a job opening, but it's really just an opportunity to finally get to it. We have so many community members that say they're tired, they want to see this change. Well, this is the opportunity for our community member to be part of the change, but also we want to value your time, and we want to make sure that yes, you're helping our cause, you're helping the cause, but we also want to help you. So we're providing a $40 stipend for each meeting, and a meeting usually varies from every 2 weeks, or maybe 2 meetings a month, and not far longer than an hour and a half. But in that moment, that person would be designated to elaborate, from their point stance. They should be a person that just a very admirable in the community, and if not, just work closely to it, or just someone that's a neighbor and just has a lot of insight. We want that. We want that kind of commitment, and we will be committed to you. So this is a wonderful opportunity for us to work very closely together.
Let me roll back the tape a little bit here. So what I'm hearing you say, that the IDA was based on an incident that was unacceptable to a number of people. And then it was Bishop Clark brought together people to look at the situation and other parts of a community's issues, and that you are gathering data at the local level, at the lowest level, not a national level, but Chautauqua County.
Yes.
Then you broke it into parts, North County, South County, East County, West County, or wherever. And that you have identified 12 areas, and then you broke it, and then you highlighted 3 areas of the highest concern.
Yes.
So far, so good?
Yes, exactly. We mostly split it down in the middle, North County and South County, but that's exactly right.
Okay. And then what I hear you saying is now you're inviting 12 community members to participate now with solutions.
Yes.
And that you're willing to give them a stipend of $40 a meeting.
Yes.
To participate.
Yes.
Where's the money come from?
The money comes from our grant that we have. This couldn't have been done without our lovely United Way of Southern Chautauqua, Amy Roller. We work hand in hand with United Way. Just because United Way has always strived to have the mission to serve the community as well. And that incident was a national impact, but it takes a village. So why can't we start within our own? Why can't we start from home? We can't necessarily go ahead and readjust the system or, make our voice heard on a national level, but we can set the example that it's possible. And within the data collection of the community and social activities, with the data collection, we were able to formalize it and be able to have it accessible to our coalition members so that they can go back and, see the data that all of the concerns come from credential, factual standpoints. Of course, it could be very easily personalized or maybe, a little bit of a personal involvement or opinionated, but a lot of it is numbers. So we also provided an example that this kind of initiative is possible because we compared it to another county within New York State that has the same similar demographics, the same opportunities, the same kind of university student life access to that kind of community or catering towards that group. So we definitely made it very clear to them. And the energy and the response was just it was impressive and it was refreshing. My team could not have felt so much more revamped to just give this project its all because within these meetings, of course we gave a presentation because we want to give that vague information so that they can have that, but we also started to have get their minds rolling. We put them in formalized groups and we made them get into their thinking caps and try to remember what services they have had, what services they do have, or what kind of services are they planning to have that could work with the mission that they are committed to our coalition. So it's definitely all great work, and this train has far gone, and it's just a matter of time of seeing its destination, but wherever it lands is going to be beautiful. I see it.
I want you to take this in the best way, what I'm going to say to you right now. Okay, I don't live in North County. I don't live in South County.
Right.
What about West County and East County?
Yes, and that is a very true factual point, and I wouldn't have known that if someone wouldn't have told us. So that's why it's very, very important for our community to be involved, because we're putting in the time, we're putting in the resources, the funds. Like we want to make this work. Now we just need our community, our public to chime in and put in their little bit of elbow grease. And we want that elbow grease, or we want that effort, but we also want to cherish it, and which is why we're offering, just kind of this meeting halfway point, because also things are expensive right now. Time is something that you can never get back, and we want to feel and let our community know that we appreciate their time and commitment.
So where I'm going with this is, people listening right now, you're going to include the whole county.
Yes. So right now, as we mentioned in our previous meeting, right now we're working on we have to tackle category by category, because if we try to attack the whole need in such a one try to aim, it's not going to do as great of an impact if we just do quality control and concentration. So eventually these concerns, we separated from North and Cal just to see
start somewhere,
right? But also to kind of distinguish the voices, because we don't want to merge them to eliminate the assumption factor. But also, like I mentioned, a lot of these concerns are not really just targeted mostly to minorities. It's things of concerns to just the county in general, with the transportation and
That's why I said it's universal.
So
it doesn't matter where you're from, you still have kids, and we still need childcare for all these kids.
Yes.
And if you don't have a car or you have public transportation, you're in trouble.
Yes.
So, jeepers, minorities. Let's talk about minorities. What minorities do you feel that are included in Chautauqua County? And because I want to make sure my list is the same as your list, because we've covered some of those. So when you say minorities, who do you mean?
Right. Well, minorities is pretty vague, right? And we only highlighted these two minorities for now. We want to highlight for now. We have intentions of, soon catering to other minority groups that we have our veterans, we have our seniors. So there are additional minority groups that need this kind of advocacy, but we're starting where we see the most need right away, and also just kind of going with the demographics and the growth of our community. Our community is ongrowing of these two minority groups, Latino and the African American community. So these are the two groups that we're working closely with to get this kind of information from and collaborating with them so that we can ensure that these barriers are just eliminated and with the support of our coalition members.
Okay. So people that are watching it right now say, we did this in the 60s, we did this in the 70s, we did this in the 80s, so what's so special about this not to happen? I can hear people saying it right now.
No, and that's, I want something to just put out there, that's 100% valid, because these issues are not issues that are present today. They have been present in far before I was here and even before even you were here.
Right.
But I think what makes us different now is that our technology has advanced tremendously. Not only that, we're living on a day-to-day basis the consequences of not tending to these needs. And honestly, we all are tired. I'm exhausted being someone who is so involved with the community, but also my job title. It's very tiring, and you can't necessarily do it all at once. But what makes us different is that we have so many folks with the credentials, with the passion, with the expertise that are so down and loyal to this initiative that we are doing what we can, bending forward backwards of getting what the tools we need, the funds we need, the right people, getting to the right communicative assets. So we're giving this our all. And we're really strong, but I think right now it's just we want to kindly ask those community members that are exhausted to please try to join us, give us a chance. We might not be able to reimburse you for the hard work and the exhaustion that you might have. We might not be able to solve that, but give us what you have, and we will, in your honor and that honor and just our mission, we will work together and do it right, and we will use the tools that we have at our disposals to do that. And social media is very, very, very an excellent asset that we have, but also our leaders and our team members. And just I completely understand, and hopefully we can show you that we are committed to this, and we hope to hear from you as well.
That's awesome. And I want to send a note to you and your team. You're going to get tired, and you're going to need help. So if folks are watching right now, and this is something that you are passionate about, I think you have that passion. It can't be just, that's really cool, I feel good about it. No, you got passion for this. And if people are out there watching right now are passionate, and they listen to you, and they've listened to my last show with you folks, how do they get involved? How do you get in touch with you guys?
Right. Well, primarily right now, the best way to get to us is finding us on Facebook. We have our Chautauqua IDA Coalition of Chautauqua County Facebook page, but we also work very closely with United Way of Southern Chautauqua. So contacting either those two focal points of organizations or just our Facebook page would be an excellent start. But I do believe we have a website and an email, but I don't have that information in front of me right now. But there are ways. But also, if they can contact you, someone who's watching on the TV show today, if that's okay,
absolutely,
let them know, and I will go find you. I will get you out and take you out to coffee, and we can have a conversation, because passion is what we need. That's our fuel, and we need that fuel to get far.
I'll tell you what, Shiloh, why don't you email me or have Bishop Clark email that information, and we'll post it next show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. Yeah, we're happy to do that. All right, so, boy. You talked about social community needs as the number 3 area of need.
Yes.
That would not have been one of my top three. I think drugs and alcohol or other things would have been higher, but it did rise to number 3. So what do you mean by that? Social and community issues.
Yes. So what we mean by this is there's not really, for these two minority groups, there's not really a sense of community, or it's been voiced that there's not really social activities that are distinguished to, be able to offer this this place for them to network or communicate or just simply interact. I mean, we just had the pandemic, and boy, did we learn our lesson of human-to-human contact, or simply just saying hello to your neighbor from a 2 feet distance.
Yeah.
So, but with community and social activities, that's where a lot of the networking can happen. Networking, not in sense of a business aspect, just let's say you would go to a neighbor for a cup of coffee or for a cup of sugar, right? But our neighbors, our community members don't know their neighbors because there's not a place to have that kind of interaction. Me being from the Bronx, me being from exposed to a plethora of community origins and places, coming here, I could only feel that way with my community, with my Latino community, in a laundromat in Dunkirk. And when I had that realization, I didn't realize how lucky I was to be exposed to such a wide dynamic of Latinos, or just have that sense of community. But it's unfortunate that I had that experience here. So with that being said, our community members also voice that they don't see enough representation within, professional positions or providers. Our Latino population every year is incrementing within the county.
Absolutely.
And our growth is, honestly speaking, inevitable. So a lot of the community is going to need to be, be able to serve for these minority groups, because they're eventually going to be the majority as well. But that's something different. But jumping back into the subject matter, with community and social activities, that's where our members can also share community resources. Oh, you don't have food, this is this pantry, or in that kind of subject matter. But we also did have some commentary from our community members, such as we need more spaces for artistic expressions and celebration of culture, or free, affordable programs that cultivated Hispanic voices were taken from us. So these are all just on a subject matter of community and just social activities. And our two minority groups desperately need this kind of representation within the county, because this is their home. And what better way to feel at home when your culture is embraced or celebrated or just displayed, really.
Let me chime in right now, because I'm sitting here thinking very carefully what you're talking about. So people right now might be thinking, oh, do they need to have a Latino group to get together? Or why do they have to? Well, when I was growing up, my mom belonged to the Daughters of Vallelonga. You might say, what in the world is he talking about? I'm part Sicilian. And in the turn of the century, the 1920s and 30s, in that range, I wasn't there, but my grandmother was, and my grandfather, and they were members of this Sicilian organization that was exactly what you're calling for. It was an organization where people from another country, another area, could get together. So, where are the good jobs these days? Can you watch my kids? They shared the foods, they shared their culture, and people say, well, we're in America, we should be American. Please tell me what that means.
Yeah.
I'm at loss when I hear these comments, and I don't say that lightly. I really don't. But what I'm getting at is, growing up in Buffalo, there was Little Italy, there was Little Germany, there was Little Poland, there was the Irish sector, South Buffalo. Now there, the Afro-American community, and on and on and on. And we're constantly, like a kaleidoscope, we're constantly changing as time goes by. But this is historical. This isn't anything new. So if I hear you right, is that we have an evolving community of Latinos Afro-Americans and perhaps another group someday that will come in, that they need a base,
Yes.
a place, just to feel comfortable, and that people that are not of that minority group shouldn't feel like they're plotting against us. They're, why are they having secret meetings, or what are they talking about?
Right.
And, fortunately, I've had the opportunity to travel in a number of countries, and you get to the point where you realize they're just talking about groceries today, or they're talking about, something that happened last week in a soccer game or whatever it is when I'm in these different countries. They're not talking about that big, tall American guy that looks goofy. They're not talking about me. They don't care about me. I'm just passing through. They're talking about everyday things, and they're not plotting. And I think that we have gotten to the point as a country that we are suspicious of everybody. Am I right?
No, that is absolutely right. And I mean, suspicion comes from questioning, the notion of not knowing. And that's when it would be a perfect opportunity to get into the know. A lot of our community town hall meetings, honestly, even though we cater them to, the Latino folks to come out and speak out, or our African American minority group to come out and speak out, it's all of these kind of points of concerns are just factual, basic human day-to-day needs within a community.
That's what I'm saying. What you're telling me is nothing new.
The only thing that is saddened to see is that although you may see it as a barrier that comes up every once in a while, but they have it on a day-to-day basis, and which brings in another discussion of why things are the way they are within our county. But it just takes the kind of time and commitment, effort, and passion to get the kind of ball rolling and just the ideas and concepts formalizing into place to get things done.
I think we have a phone call. Do we have a phone call? Okay. Caller, if you're listening, call back and we'll get you online. So what has been your response from the Latino community?
The Latino community, it saddens me.
Why?
The response in terms of voicing the concerns, and they have voiced their concerns, but they're also a little bit exhausted. We haven't really had, to be quite honest, as much of a response as a good response as we have with our African American community. But I think it just comes from that underlining sense of disconnect. So we're trying to get that connection, because they're here, especially in our Dunkirk, our Dunkirk city. They're definitely there, and we want them to be as involved as this could possibly go for an excellent result. But their response, they're exhausted, but with the way that we have been seeing our coalition members generating ideas and already getting concepts formulated, and honestly, some of them have already implemented solutions way before we started to formalize. So seeing that kind of energy and effort, I'm just excited to get back their kind of trust to us.
Hold that thought. We're going to try again. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Doc. Good morning, Shiloh. This is Linda Spalding.
Hi, Lynn.
Good morning. Buenos días.
Buenos días.
¿Cómo está usted?
Muy bien, ¿y usted?
Gee. Muy bien, gracias.
Excelente, that's great. Thank you for
muy
calling.
Bien, gracias. My Spanish got a little rusty just a minute ago.
The accent was beautiful.
Well, thank you. I took 2 years of Spanish in college, and I went on a trip to Puerto Rico with our Spanish club.
We just talked about that earlier. Yeah.
Oh
man, I'm missing out. I should go.
Yeah, it was wonderful. And my second year of Spanish, we had a priest from Spain. He had a beautiful Castilian dialect, Castilian, but he could hardly speak English, and we could hardly speak Spanish.
So that's when you go to Latin.
Nice. I didn't know that.
But I loved his class.
Good.
So it's great you're doing these things, and I do speak a little bit of Spanish, and when I worked at the county and at Chautauqua Opportunities, if they didn't have somebody who was fluent in Spanish, they would send them to me.
Oh,
and
boy.
I did a lot of sign language.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you so much for that. I don't think you, I want to take the time to explain to you the importance and the beautiful effort of you learning that secondary language.
It's a beautiful language.
It is,
beautiful-
and
it is.
it's beautiful to see someone that's not native to the country or the language associated to it, but
Yeah.
just have that craft and just that effort
Yeah.
implemented into that. So thank you, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you were a great tool because having that secondary language is just awesome, especially with Chautauqua Opportunities.
It's a beautiful language. I love the Spanish music, the culture. I know all the Spanish countries. Hispanic, they call it Spain, Puerto Rico, Mexico, all of them. I just love their culture, their music, and their food.
Yes, definitely. I understand there with the food part. Yes, well, the very delicious food.
Yes. Well, thank you for coming on. It was great to see you on the show, and I will let you continue.
Okay.
Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Lynn.
You too. Thank you.
Take
God
care.
bless.
Thank you. God bless you, too. Thank you.
Okay.
Gracias.
De nada. Adios.
Donata is right. I learned Spanish vicariously, but we won't go there. My great phrase is "Donde es baño?" My wife says, "What's that?" She says, "Where's the bathroom?"
I thought you said español.
Baño.
El
Is it
baño. Yes.
No,
that's an important question to
I'm
know.
Irish Spanish. Donde es baño? Right?
Yes.
So, you mentioned coalitions, and I have a note that you gave me talking about the coalition. So who are you working with? Because it sounds like you have sewn together a coalition of coalitions.
Yes. Right now, I believe we have more than 39 coalition members.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, no,
Wow.
no. We have the Research Center. We have the Chautauqua Center. We also have Chautauqua Adult Day Services, Prevention Works. We have Northwest Arena. We have just so many members that are just ready to go and be part of the solution. And we even have Chautauqua Adult Day Services. Way before we started to formalize, they had a Latino outreach program because they saw that they had they were a senior daycare program, and they saw that they were having a growing growing members that are part of the Latino community, and they saw that, well, in order to be of service to them, they have to understand them, and the Latino outreach program is what they started based off of that. And Prevention Works tries to create and generate this kind of teaching sessions and counseling sessions for families, but also they have very, very excellent core workplace implementations where they support their staff. And I'm not going to disclose information, but in one of the conversations I had with them, one of transportation areas of concerns were being seen in the workplace with one of their employees, and they understand that because of our presentations, they now put in concept why this is such a big barrier, and they're seeing it first and foremost within their own team. So
Shiloh, I know this seems hard to believe, but we have less than a minute left.
Really?
Really.
I
So
mean-
let's wrap it up with whatever you want to tell folks how to get a hold, if they're interested in becoming part of the coalition and stuff.
Okay, well, if you're interested in being part of the coalition, the best way you can contact us is through our Facebook page, the Chautauqua IDA Coalition of Chautauqua County. We also have our offices in United Way, in Southern County, in Jamestown. You can definitely contact us there. You can also email us at the IDEA director at uwayscc.org. But also contacting you,
Right,
chime in,
we're gonna get that information on a slide for you next week.
and
okay?
that would be greatly appreciated. And we're excited to work with you and hope to see you soon.
Okay, folks, my guest today has been Shiloh Cahuatijo, and she has been part of the IDA coalition that's working to help alleviate and find solutions to issues that are in our county at the county level,
Yes.
not national level, our own basis, our grounds. So thanks for coming in as always, and I hope that your fellow members get better so we can do this as a group again. Folks, we're going to do this again next week. If you want to watch the show to get more details, it's at 2 and 8 right here on Access Chautauqua, channel 1301 on Spectrum. I'm Doc Hamels, and I'm going to tell you to have a wonderful weekend. It's going to be a little dreary. Come out to Cherry Creek this afternoon. My band's going to be playing from 3 to 6 for their fall festival. You take care, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.